Hello everyone. So today, hello Wendy, hello Lynn, I'm glad you can join me. So today we will crochet our next motif from classical book, antique book. Hello Jenny. Uh, Masterpieces of Irish Crochet Lace. This is really beautiful motif, quite complicated the way it's done. So we will take time to make it, and I will show you all little details. I rewrote the crochet pattern in the way we would write it and explain in modern language. And so at the end of this video today, I will post in description under the video the pattern. For now, I will just open my notes that I made for me on a computer. They are not organized very well for me to post it right now, but after the video, I will share with you so that you can follow them with my video together. So for this motif, you will need padding cord, crochet thread number 10. I will use mine from Aunt Lydia. And you will need any thread you're comfortable with to crochet. I'm using my silk thread, which is equivalent to a thread from DMC number 8. And crochet hook 0.9. I will use 0.9 for the video, but normally for the thread fine like this one, number 12 or DMC number 8, I would recommend to use crochet hook 0.6 or 0.75 millimeters. For video, for me, it's easier to use a little bit thicker hook so that I can see my stitches and you can see what I crochet. So I'll put this motif aside for now, and then we will come back to this almost finished piece, and I will show you how to continue and finish this motif. So first we will pick up single cord. In the book, they throughout the entire book they use single padding cord, single strand. You can use double-stranded padding cord if you wish. Probably all you will need is 1 meter folded in half, but I will follow the book and I will crochet with just a single cord. So pick up your thread and first stitch we're making right away, we're making single crochet stitch for but of course you will need to make something to begin with. So this is a slip stitch to secure my thread on the padding cord. After that, crochet, single crochet stitch. And after that, a little fun begins, because crocheting this way quite unusual and not always easy if you're a beginner. So if you never crocheted over the padding cord, I would suggest you to find a few of my videos on on YouTube, how to crochet with a padding cord, but also video tutorials on my website that I have also explained in details in chapter 3, how to crochet over the padding cord. So first stitch we made, just one single crochet stitch over the single cord. After that, take your cord and fold it. Fold it from left to right. And crochet around this loop 15 single crochet stitches. So make sure it's easy for you to hold. You will not need too big a loop. All you will need just a small loop and crochet 15 to fit 15 single crochet stitches. So here it is folded, and you of course start from that folded part that went from left to right. 15 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would recommend to go after 5 stitches, make that loop smaller. And to make it right, I would say that you probably will have to play with it a little bit. Probably you will mess up your first flower, or at least one first petal. Just practice crocheting this way. It's not very easy at first for the beginner crochet this way. How big this will be, I really cannot tell you unless, well, the only way we can do it is just to measure the diameter of this loop approximately. Like 5 millimeters probably. If you put it on a measuring tape, it will be like 5 millimeters diameter. But it's not necessary to measure, so just try and error. So I have 5 stitches. Let's continue. We need 15. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I already know the size of my stitches. I see that this distance that is left quite big. I don't need it as big. So to make it smaller, you need to pull on the cord. To pull on a cord, it's best to cover this area where the loop was folded. Cover with your fingers, pinch it, and pull on a cord. Do it slowly and gently, not too much. You can see the distance got smaller. I can go even smaller. It's easier to change the size of this loop when you have 8-10 stitches. After that, when you have already 15, it's not easy to change the size of it. So let's continue. So we have 10 and 5 more stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Basically, it's 15 stitches we made. And of course, what else will happen? This stitch that we made, the single crochet stitch, very first single crochet stitch, right here, is not too tight to hold our padding cord from moving. So this part will move a lot, just for the first petal. So right now I will just pick up my short tail and pull on it like this, slightly pull on it to close my petal, like this. There's no really way of folding it or securing this part in such a way that it will be actually keep it secure without moving and wobbling. So the next step, after 15 single crochet stitches, make single crochet stitch over the padding cord right here on this folded part. Just one single crochet stitch right there. From now on, this is supposed to hold the stitches tighter and will look way better. And make sure only that you the first stitch, when we were making 15 stitches, our first stitch over this loop will be snug together with this last stitch, that they will kind of be too close together that you will not see padding cord. Of course, you will fix it a little bit later, but it's better to fix it right now. Again, the next step after this single crochet stitch over the padding cord, again fold your padding cord exactly the same way as we did before. Fold it like that. And crochet 15 single crochet stitches. One. Of course, my hook went somewhere else, so be very careful also when you crochet. So 15 stitches into the created loop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I will go adjust my padding cord, make it smaller here. 8. And you can always pinch that area where it's folded there, preventing from the loop getting bigger. Because every time you make a stitch, the loop stretches itself. 9, 10, 11, 12, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So after 15 stitch, as you notice again, we have this made loop. Now we will crochet over this padding cord. It's the same padding cord, only since we created a loop, now we create on the front. It looks like it's on the front because it's laying this way. Make single crochet stitch on this part, on this one, right here. Single crochet. And again check that stitch that you made. First stitch that we made on a loop is next to the last stitch we made over the padding cord. Those stitches are together, that your padding cord is not showing itself anywhere. And one more time we will repeat the same thing. We will fold again our padding cord like that. And crochet 15 single crochet stitches over the loop. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, So make sure you pick up the right padding cord, because we have short tail, we have this longer one. So I have 5 stitches and we need 10 more. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 'So you can see that this is the folded part, and it's kind of in the front. We crochet on this side of the padding cord of the loop. 10 and 5 more. 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, and 15. Look like my hand's going away somewhere. Let me fix my camera a little bit. And as we did before, here's our padding cord that on the front makes single crochet over this piece. Just like that. Single crochet stitch. And make sure that this last stitch and between this last stitch and the first stitch of the loop, there are no gap. You don't see the padding cord. After that, it's kind of look wobbly and not very secure. So drop padding cord and insert the hook into the back loop of the first single crochet stitch. And we're talking about single crochet stitch that was made very first for single crochet stitch. So here's our padding cord that we were crocheting. Put it down and find that stitch, the very first stitch, single crochet stitch that was made on that short tail. It says to make a stitch make single crochet stitch into the back loop of that stitch, first one. So here it is. Here's this first stitch in the back loop and make single crochet stitch here. If this stitch is kind of wobbly because it's very first stitch and could be loose, I would go and do it actually with in both loops, slip stitch, just to secure this area. So this is how it will look like. I'll have to a little bit pull on this cord and make sure my stitches look fine. So this is the short tail, and with this short tail we will take care of this a little bit later. Here's our working thread. So turning like this, right? Have to look at this very carefully what to do next. So this is how it's supposed to be. After that, we will have to continue crochet around each petal, again single crochet stitches. And as I remember, I did not make note for me, we crocheting into the back loops. Yes, so into the back loops. In the book, they do not tell us to crochet over the padding cord, but it looks way better, and the petals will be firm and have better shape if you will use your padding cord. So pick up again your padding cord and crochet 15 single crochet stitches around each petal. Make sure to pick up the right stitch. Okay, so into the back loops around over the padding cord. I chose to use padding cord. I also will pick up the short tail of my working thread and will crochet over this together with the padding cord. That way I don't have to weave it in later. I will take care of it right away. Okay, so let's come back to our work and crochet 15 single crochet stitches around each petal into back loops and over the padding cord and a short tail of working thread. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. This motif is so tiny here, so I hope you see what I'm doing here. 15. Okay, so let me just look what I did. Adjust everything, all my stitches, and what I will do, I will cut off the short tail of the working thread. I don't need it anymore, and it will not be on the way, jumping into my hands when I don't need it. So the less distraction I have, the better it is for my crochet. So all I have only this padding cord and short padding cord. We will still need this, and what to do with that I'll show you later. So here's the first petal. The same way we will go around the other two petals, and in between petals we had the single crochet stitch. Every time we were making 15 single crochet stitches, we were making at the end one more. Instructions in the book tell us to crochet single crochet stitch in that stitch between the petals. I would make slip stitch, works way better. So find that stitch between the petals and just make slip stitch. If you want, you can follow the book and make single crochet. For me, works better with slip stitch. And again, over the padding cord, I chose to use my padding cord, crochet into back loops of next petal, single crochet stitches. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 3 more, 13, 14, and 15. 10, 14, and 15. And again we will do the same thing. We will make slip stitch between the second and third petals of our little, look like a shamrock. So we find this stitch right here and I will make slip stitch. You can make single crochet as in the book. Now your motif will be a little bit kind of wavy, but it's all okay. We can always fix it later by blocking our motif and give it a shape the way it's needed. But also padding cord helps a lot when you pull on it a little bit. This will kind of shape your motif. So one slip stitch between petals and last petal the same, 15 single crochet stitches into the back loops and over the padding cord if you want to use padding cord for this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How that happened? Okay, I have to undo my last petal because I did not pick up padding cord. Somehow missed it. Okay, here it is. Over the padding cord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And we will need to, I will have to stop to pull on a padding cord slightly. Because I feel it's moving in the wrong direction for me here. And 3 more stitches to make into the petal. 13, 14, and 15. Okay, now let's check. I will check my instructions. So this is how it will look like. At first, this motif and motifs before, I did not crochet with the padding cord my little petals, but I realized that it will look really pronounced and better when you use padding cord. It's not necessary, but you can do that. Okay, so our next step, single crochet stitch after the last petal and chain 1. Well, single crochet stitch of course goes between, right where the first stitch was, right there. Again, feels like single crochet stitch is not necessary, but I will make slip stitch. It's kind of a tight place, slip stitch asking for it. I don't want to make single crochet. After that, also make chain 1. Chain 1. And we will be making over the padding cord a stem. So for the stem, what I will do before we start next part, I will use this short tail and I will use this tail, this padding cord. When I will crochet one direction, I will cut this off this way. I will secure my padding cord and have to worry about it at the very end of my work. I just will take care of this right now. With the long tail, I will fold it in half. Well, not in half, but just I will fold it. Let's say like this. So here's the short tail. Here it is. And here's our longer tail. I fold this. So I have actually triple padding cord. And why I folded the long tail, you will see when I will finish at least this one row for padding cord. So we will crochet, I believe 16 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. At this point, I will take a short tail that I was crocheting and I will cut it off right now. And we'll continue crochet over this, but I will make this part, this long tail. Since I folded this padding cord, I can pull on this to make this loop smaller, but don't go and pull it out totally. So we still need it. So we have 12, 13, now 14, 15, and 16 we will make like that, and also insert your hook. Oops. So again, single crochet, 16 single crochet, and also insert the hook into the loop of the padding cord like this, and pull thread through the loop of the padding cord and create continuous single crochet stitch. After that, you can take this padding cord and pull on this loop a little bit more so that this loop will disappear. You don't have this anymore, like this. And going back and crochet into this stem. In the book, they talk about single crochet stitches. Let me look at my notes. So according to the book, they ask to cut padding cord here. And this is why I did not cut my padding cord by fold it in half, because I will still need padding cord again. So when I folded the padding cord, I have it like right next to the flower. And you will see why it's a good idea to keep it this way and fold it here. Because by the book you will have to crochet with the padding cord stem, cut the stem, and then go back. And then again we will have to pick up padding cord. So instead of doing this, I folded my padding cord. And it's next to the flower, next to the center, right here. So now, after this, we also have to crochet 16 single crochet stitches back. But what I did, I really do not like single crochet stitches. It makes this stem look too bulky. So you can do both things. You can or crochet slip stitches here, or you can, let me see, I'll show you. So here I was crocheting just single crochet stitches going back, and I tried to crochet with a padding cord. It does not look too bad. So we can just go and crochet single crochet stitches. Let's do that. Going back and insert hook into both loops of each stitch. So you can or cut your padding cord like in the book, you can fold it like I did, or continue with the padding cord, just long tail, and then fold that padding cord and crochet with that going back. So I tried many ways, and I'm showing you the other way of doing it. So if you want a tiny and nice delicate stem, go with slip stitches back. I will go with single crochet stitches. And we'll see what will happen. This time I'm not using padding cord going back. And simply because my padding cord is not available here. And you really don't need to count how many stitches you're right now making, because there will not be more or less, it's just a stem. So here you can just go all the way to the center of the flower to finish the stem. And again, or follow the book to the dot and create a thicker padding cord. I mean, not padding cord, because padding cord by the book is supposed to be cut here. You can use how I did. You see this padding cord is here. And you can choose or make slip stitches or single crochet stitches here. You will, when you will crochet any motif, you can always add a little bit of your own something. Sometimes stems I noticed look a little bit thicker in all the books, and the flower itself look very delicate, airy, very lacy. So you wanted to have more delicate stem. Okay, so I finished with my stem. Here it is. Actually, it's easy to turn flower this way. And here's the padding cord. So the stem is done. And you can make a slip stitch here. Right where the first single crochet was, we made it already twice there, slip stitches instead. Remember, they had single crochet, but I chose to use slip stitch. So I will go again into this part, into this area, one more time, and I will make slip stitch, slip stitch, like that. So now look at what I have. I have that shamrock, I have stem, and here is my padding cord, and I will use it very soon, and you will see how I will do it. It's very close to the center of the flower. It's basically there. And let's see what next we have to do. Hello, Sandra. I have some people here. Hello, Renee, Sally, Wendy. Hello, Jenny. So everyone who joined me, welcome. Okay, let's continue. So now we will crochet over this first petal slip stitches. So on the first stitch that we just made, slip stitch right here at the center, and then 7 slip stitches on the 7 stitches of the first petal. Slip stitches. They don't tell us how to crochet back loops, front loops. I will go into the back loops and we count. I just don't want to miss 1 stitch. 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like that. So slip stitches, 7 slip stitches on the 7 stitches of the first petal. After that, we will pick up our padding cord and crochet single crochet stitch over the padding cord and into the 8th stitch of the petal. And here it is, our padding cord became handy. Here it is, we will pick it up, and even we have kind of distance here and our padding cord will be behind, you will not see this padding cord at all. It will be hidden here behind the petal. So pick up your padding cord and into the 8th stitch, here's this 8th stitch, over the padding cord, make single crochet stitch. I would recommend actually to make a single crochet stitch and insert hook into both loops. That way your stitch won't be stretched, like this. So here's my padding cord on the back. I just picked it up and I will crochet and use this when I need it, like this. And let me put this down for a second and I will show you already in my flower that is made, pre-made. So here we have our 3 petals, our stem, and when we came back, we made slip stitches right here, and now we added padding cord right here. and we will crochet over the padding cord stitches, connect between petals. Again, we will make padding over the padding cord stitches, connect to the middle of the second petal, again over the padding cord stitches, and we will connect between second and third right here with a single crochet stitch. And we will finish this round with crocheting over the padding cord and connect to the middle of the last petal. This is how it will look like. This is our goal, to make this base of the petals that we will have to decorate later. And don't worry if it's kind of wobbly and wavy. We will have to take care of this a little bit later. So now, we pick up our padding cord, or if you cut your padding cord and if you follow in the book to the dot, you have to introduce your padding cord and then make in the 8th stitch single crochet stitch over the padding cord, and after that we will crochet only over the padding cord 16 single crochet stitches over the padding cord only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. So we made only over the padding cord 16 single crochet stitches. Now we have to connect all this between first and second petal right here, right over there. We will make single crochet stitch over the padding cord. And to make it easier, I will pull on my padding cord to make a curve, because it will be straight, but we need a curve. So between first and second, into the stitch over the padding cord, make single crochet stitch. Make sure the stitch that you're connecting right now is tight, like this. Okay, here's our curved petal, base for the petal, for the first petal. Again, only over the padding cord, crochet again 16 single crochet stitches over the padding cord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. And to make it easier to connect, pull on a padding cord slightly so that this row that you just made become curvy, and connect to the middle of the second petal, right onto the tip. Basically, we connect to the, let me count, let me see, I made so 16 crochet stitches of the padding cord, and into the 8th stitch. It will be stitch number 8. So if we will go and be precise, we will count stitches on the petal. 1, 2, 3. Let me do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here's this 8th stitch. And into that 8th stitch, over the padding cord, make single crochet stitch. So this is a little bit too long, so we need to pull on the padding cord slightly, like that. This is how it will look like. And again, over the padding cord only, 16 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Again, holding your stitches, pull on a padding cord. Not too much at first, just a little bit, just to create a curve here. And this time we connect between 2nd and 3rd petal in this indentation right there with a single crochet stitch. Just go find that stitch between. That could be a challenge because stitches are tight. Over the padding cord, make single crochet stitch between 2nd and 3rd petal. And I would recommend to go and pull on a padding cord as so much so that this part and this will be the same length. And one more time, we crochet over the padding cord only, over the padding cord, 16 single crochet stitches. And that time we will find 8th stitch and connect to the, basically on the top of the 3rd petal with single crochet stitch. So 16 stitches again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16. Again, holding your stitches, pull on the padding cord slightly to create that curve, and count on the petal from the base 7 stitches first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and into the 8th stitch, connect with a single crochet stitch over the padding cord, like this. This is how it will look like. Now slightly pull on your padding cord here. Like that. Now I noticed that I could see my padding cord. It's kind of visible right now, but later if I need to, I can always come back to this part, and when I will work on weaving in my working thread at the very end, I can always take care of this piece and sew it connected to the motif in few places to make sure that it's not showing itself anywhere on the front. Also, don't worry about all this wave and ruffle effect. You can always rid of it later after you will wash it, block it, your motif, or whatever you do with that. Everybody is different and doing things differently. A lot of ladies washing their motifs before they put them together with netting. I never do that. I just pin my motifs to the blocking mat or padding board and steam them. So this way I just give them, help them to, I shape them, let's say this way. Okay, so this is how it's supposed to be. This part right here, if you look, a little bit less, not as pronounced as this one. So I have to pull on my padding cord more to make sure it's the same, have the same look, like this. Now I will look at my instructions again to make sure that I do everything, almost everything by the book. So let me see, let me open my notes. Okay, so we connected to the 8th stitch of the last petal. After that we have to turn our work, drop our padding cord, we will not need it right away. Actually, we will not need it at all. Yes, we will not need it. That piece actually you can cut, drop your padding cord here, but cut tail. Here's our padding cord. We will not be able to use this piece. So cut 5, 6, or 7 centimeters long. We need that piece later. But for now we don't need it, so drop it. And we will have to turn our work and crochet, skip first stitch, and then crochet 4 slip stitches on the next 4 stitches of this curved base. So those curved rows or arches or loops, whatever you will call them, I will call them arches. They look like arch. So into this curved loops, they are the base of those petals that we will crochet later on. This right here, lacy part. So right now we're on the wrong side of our flowers. Okay, so we turned it on the wrong side, and first thing we do, skip 1 stitch and then 4 slip stitches into the stitches of this arch. One, two, 3 and 4 slip stitches. You can go into the back loops here, or you can do it in both loops. Easier to go into back loops with slip stitches. And after that, this is when we become crochet fun part. First we will make, so we will make this lacy petals. We will decorate our arches with this lace decor right here. So first we'll make chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. And after this we will make 7 treble crochet stitches separated by chain 1, and we crochet them into this area right here. So treble crochet, how we make treble crochet: yarn over 1 time and yarn over twice, and we make treble crochet stitches. Again, if it's easier to go into back loop, go into back loop. So treble crochet and chain 1. Oops, 1, another one, again, treble crochet, chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1, treble crochet, chain 1, we need 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 more, treble crochet, chain 1, again treble, chain 1, and 1 more treble crochet stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's 7 of them. Treble crochet stitch. Okay, so first petal look like that. After that, we will have to skip stitches on this petal, 5 of them, and 5 stitches on the second, and crochet 8 treble crochet stitches into this arch right here. Also, after last treble, chain 1, each treble separated by chain 1, even in transition when we go to another petal. So treble crochet, chain 1. Now skip 5 stitches here, 5 stitches over there, and starting from the 6th stitch, make 8 treble crochet stitches. And also 8 treble crochet stitches that are separated by chain 1. So let's make sure that we skipped the right amount of stitches. It's easier to count when you see them from the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 5 stitches on this arch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Find our 6th stitch and crochet your first treble here. Chain 1. This is how it will look like. And continue. Again, treble crochet stitch, chain 1, Make sure your treble crochet stitches are tight. It's very important so that your motif will not look sloppy and too loose. So those of you who crochet loose, you have to practice crochet tight, and to make sure that your stitches, yarn overs, are not spread like this. You see, my yarn overs are close together. Sometimes when you crochet with a yarn, it's okay, but when you crochet with single crochet, double crochet, or treble crochet stitches, or longer stitches in Irish crochet, it's nice to have those yarn overs close to each other and tight. This is when your stitches will look neat and uniform. Next treble. I'm using right now crocheting into back loops. It's way easier than going under two. A book does not really mention anything about back loop, so it's just my own decision. So let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, one more stitch, one more treble. So I made my chain one, and last treble, 8 treble crochet stitches into the second petal, chain one, and we are doing the same basically skip this time. So here we were skipping 5 5, now we will skip 3 3. So prepare to make a treble for the next part, and we skip 1 2 3 stitches on the second arch, and 3 stitches on the next 1 2 and 3 into the fourth stitch here, our next treble. 1 2 3. Okay, so this is how it will look like. So pay attention, it's very important. So in the first arch we made 4 slip stitches, made chain 6, and crochet 7 treble crochet stitches, between each treble chain 1, then chain 1 at the end after the 7th stitch, skip 5 single stitches of the arch, 5 stitches of the second arch, and make 8 treble crochet stitches separated by chain 1s. Again at the end, after last 8th stitch, chain 1. Then in the middle here we skip on the second arch 3 stitches, and on a third arch skip 3 stitches, and crochet 8 more treble crochet stitches separated by chain 1. Here's our chain 1 and trebles. Let's continue. And make sure that you don't not overdo, don't make 2 more. So have 1 2 3 4 5 6, 2 more stitches, and separate them. Don't forget chain 1, so it will be 7th treble, chain 1, and 1 more, chain 1. And again the same as we did. I'm trying to find the right place where I was in the my pattern in my notes. Just a moment. Okay, now we will skip 5 stitches in the third arch and 5 in this last arch and connect with treble 1 2 and count 1 2 3 4 5. Skip here also 5 stitches, 1 2 3 4 and 5. Into the 6th stitch we can go and make our treble crochet stitch. 1, chain 1, and here we will have to make only 7 trebles. At the end we will make our chain 6 as before, as in the first part, and then I will tell you what next. So again, treble, so this time we'll make 7 of them. It will be 2, chain 1, 3, chain 1, 4, chain 1, 5, chain 1, 6, chain 1, and 7, the last treble crochet. And after that, chain 6, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and at the very end, into our last part of scallop, make 4 slip stitches into the scallop here. Scallop, arch, 4 slip stitches again. So chain 6 and go with slip stitches. Connect your chain 6 next to the last treble, and this is our first slip stitch, and then again 2, 3, and 4 slip stitches like this. So this, we are basically finished with this row. Now we will have to turn our work again, and we have to add padding cord. So here we are. Let me just make sure my stitch is here. Turn our work. And remember I told you about this short tail, we cut this padding cord. At the end, when we're going to make our last row, this short tail of padding cord is basically not secure anywhere, just with one single crochet stitch. We will have to take care of it, so I will show you at the end. So pay attention, this piece we will need it. But we have to, before we will come to the end and finish motif, we have to make our last row. This row is fun to make, very tricky to make, not very easy to make, because it's kind of tight. And we will create those scallops as we go. So when we will make those scallops, it's kind of interesting way of making it. They remind me of the way all scallops are made for decorating edges in Irish crochet. So you will make single crochet stitches one way, then you will make chain and go back crochet, connect that chain to the skipping stitches below and connecting here, and then crocheting over the chain single crochet stitches. And I will show you how to make this. So first we need padding cord, not very long, not very long, long enough to crochet around this area. But of course you need longer tail always to take care of it later. So I don't mind to cut longer piece. And my piece will be probably 30-35 centimeters. Here it is. At the very beginning, what I will do, here's my stitches. So after this, over the padding cord, we will have to crochet 12 single crochet stitches. I will fold my padding cord, a short tail here, one short, one long, not in half. I don't need to crochet over this way. You can crochet over the padding cord with 2 strands, but I will follow through entire motif with 1 strand. Only right now, so that I don't have to weave in too many ends and too many pieces later, I will just use this. I will use this technique, just crochet over the padding cord this way. So I will start making, first I will connect. Actually, you know what, the best way of connecting padding cord, any padding cord, is with a slip stitch. So let's turn back when we were finishing our last row with treble crochet stitches, and here when you have the last slip stitch, I would undo this last stitch first. It's kind of jumping back. So here's our slip stitch. I need to make 4th. This time I will put a loop of the padding cord and secure with a slip stitch my padding cord like this. Now I can turn my work like that to the right side, and my padding cord is already attached, and crochet over the padding cord 12 single crochet stitches as they told us in the book. 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I will undo this. It's a little bit too early I introduce my padding cord. I'm not trying to confuse you, but sometimes as you crochet you can discover something that you don't like and you change it. So I will just make my 4th stitch and I will introduce my padding cord into the 5th slip stitch with a slip stitch. So after the 4th slip stitch I will put my padding cord on the hook and make single slip stitch right here. You can even make single crochet stitch there, it's up to you, but I will make slip stitch and probably chain 1 will help, like that. Then turn to the right side and 12 single crochet stitches over the padding cord. So at first I will crochet just a little bit. Those 12 stitches I will make over the padding cord that is folded, and then I will crochet only over the 1 strand of padding cord. So we have 1, and go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So here I will pull on a padding cord to create this arch like that, kind of loopy. You can pull a little bit more even, and I will show you how it looks like on the motif, like this. Here there's 12 stitches, and now we will crochet single crochet stitches. First we will make into the 6th loop, into the 6th chain of 6. Then we will also crochet on top of each treble and 2 single crochet stitches between treble crochet stitches where chain 1 was. So first. Now over the single cord, I will drop this short part, and over this 2 single crochet stitches into the gap where chain 6 is. 1 and 2. 1, 2, and next single crochet stitch over the treble crochet. And notice I'm crocheting over the padding cord all entire edge of this flower over the treble crochet. Again, I'm going into between trebles where the chain 1 and I'm making 2 single crochet stitches. And again, I am making 1 single crochet stitch on top of treble crochet. Make sure that it's on top of treble. Anywhere else, it's quite tricky to crochet this area. I will stop here and I will remove the short tail that I used to have. I'm talking about that one I introduced, not here. This one we needed, but the short tail that I just added. We crocheted 12 single crochet stitches, so this short tail, nothing will happen to it. It just secured with the single crochet stitches here. So now fun part begins. Let me figure out what and where. So let me come back to the flower. So right in here. So we made our 12 single crochet stitches only over the padding cord. Then 2 single crochet stitches were chain 6, 1 single crochet stitch on top of treble, first treble, then 2 single crochet stitches between trebles, and 1 single crochet stitch into the second treble. After that, after this, watch what we're doing. Drop padding cord and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now remove hook and count 4 stitches from left to right this way. Right here. Here's our 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe into 4 or 5th stitch. Let me look one more time just to make sure. Chain 5 and connect chain in the right to the 4th stitch. Okay, so chain 5, then count 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 4th stitch connect this chain to this stitch. So like that. Pull thread through, and now crochet. In the book it says crochet over this little loop that is created by chain 5. they want you to crochet 8 single crochet stitches. I cannot fit 8. I fit only 5, only 7. Is it a big deal? I don't think so. You still will have a beautiful flower. Still you will have your scallops. If you can fit your 8 stitches, that's great. I just couldn't do it. Probably I can do it now, but so 1. So crochet around this chain of 5, going back now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is what I can fit. I cannot. I don't have enough room for one more stitch. This how it look like. After this, we continue crochet. So watch very carefully here. So I made my 7 single crochet stitches. If you can make 8, great. Now we go between next treble crochet stitches where the chain 1 was and make 2 single crochet stitches there. 1, 2. Don't forget about your padding cord. We still crochet with the padding cord. Next step, single crochet stitch on top of treble. Over the padding cord, single crochet. Now again, between trebles, chain 1 was there, right? Around this chain 1, around that gap, 2 single crochet stitches. Don't forget about your padding cord. And again, treble crochet on top of treble, and over the padding cord, crochet single crochet stitch. And I have to check my notes, just a moment. Again, I believe I missed something here. Okay, I did miss something. 2 single crochet treble, 2 single treble. Okay, so 1, 2, 2 treble crochet stitches and 2 gaps, and then again drop padding cord for a second, chain 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Remove hook and count 1, 2, 3, and 4. Into the 4th stitch, insert the hook, and then pull, insert hook into the 5th stitch of chain 5. Pull the threads through of that stitch and crochet around chain of 5 stitches, single crochet stitches. 8, or if you cannot make 8, make 7 like I did. It's quite a good exercise to crochet single crochet stitches in a very tight little area. Here's another scallop. Again, we're going and we'll crochet 2 single crochet stitches into that gap where the chain 1 was, 1 double crochet, 1 single crochet stitch over the treble. Again, we're going into the gap between stitches, 2 single crochet, and into the next treble on top, single crochet, and after that we're again making scallop like that. So let's do this. So again, 2 single crochet stitches into the around chain 1 and around padding cord, don't forget about that. Then single crochet stitch on top of treble. I crochet really tight, so it's kind of look probably funny how I try to get into the stitches. Again, 2 single crochet stitches around chain 1 and around padding cord, and 1 more single crochet on top of treble and padding cord. Again, drop your padding cord and chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remove hook, count 4 stitches to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hook into the 4th stitch, reconnect with your chain 5, and pull this stitch, 5th stitch of chain, through the 4th stitch. Here you can, if it's not easy to crochet, you can always make slip stitch here and crochet 7 single crochet stitches around chain 5. I don't even count anymore. As soon as I just fit single crochet stitches around, but I can very easily put here 7. 8th stitch just does not fit, and if I will make it looks really bad. So I just chose 7 stitches only, and this is how it's done. That's it. This is all I will do. Now we will continue. Let me look at my notes. And again, we did the chain 5. And here we go, and again, first we crochet between those 2 stitches that left into that gap where around chain 1, 2 single crochet. Don't forget to pick up your padding cord, it's right here. I sometimes keep it in front that I will not forget. It's just visible and you know it's there. Now next one to the on top of treble. And that area between the last stitch here, treble, and first treble here on the next arch, also 2 single crochet stitches in that indentation, 1 and 2, like this. Now this a little wavy, you can see it's kind of like have that ruffle. So what you do, pick up your padding cord before you go any further and pull on a padding cord. Those stitches will squeeze a little bit. You help them. You help this petal to shape it in a right form, like this. And you see, if you look like that from side, it's not ruffle anymore. If you need to pull a little bit more, you're welcome to pull a little bit more on your padding cord. But pull enough so that your petal will not wave. That's how it will look like. Now, I will not crochet with you scallops all the way because it's all repetitive. We'll do exactly the same thing. We crochet into the gaps twice. Right here you will make next treble, one single crochet over the treble, 2 single crochet into around the chain 1, again single crochet on the treble, again between, and again on a treble. So you're basically looking here at 1, 2, 3. After the 3rd treble, make your chain 5 and crochet your scallop. Okay, and then everything continue the same way, the same pattern. And I will write notes so you can always follow them. So after this, Let me grab my prepared piece, almost finished flower. Okay, here it is. So you will make all those scallops, and every time you make each petal, use your padding cord at the end of each petal to make sure that the petal is not wavy, that it's not look like a ruffle, that it will not be like, you know, wave like this all the time. So finish all those scallops, and now watch for that. I will move on the back my stem because it's on the way. And let's look at my crochet. You will have exactly the same if you followed my video with me and did everything I did. So when we introduced the padding cord right here, this padding cord, remember we were crocheting those arches on the wrong side, right? We still have that padding cord. This padding cord attached here only with one single crochet stitch. And if I will cut this padding cord right now, I will unravel those stitches. They will not be totally unraveled, but they will become loose and sloppy. It will look like, imagine something to take away from inside where they are hold onto. So what I will do, I need finish this with 12 single crochet stitches. We began the last round over the padding cord and we made 12 stitches. Then over the padding cord we made edges of each arch or scallop, made small scallops on top. Everything was made over the padding cord, and we have to finish this part also with the same 12 single crochet stitches over the padding cord. When we will go and do this, here's the padding cord that we used to crochet the edge. And also we have this short tail, so we can secure this. And we will crochet over this tail also at the same time as we crochet over this padding cord. So what we will do, let me show you, I will just put it flat. A lot of thread going on here. Okay, like this. So this is my working thread right here. This is that stitch, and let me make that stitch slightly smaller so it will not be on the way. And I will put hook in there. So this is my working thread, ignore this. This is a padding cord that I crocheted over the edge of the flower, the last edge. And here's the padding cord, right in here. So what we will do, we will put this padding cord, we will move it like that, this direction, and continue crochet over that padding cord that we crocheted, right? So we will have right now two padding cords, two strands for padding cords, just like we did it here at the beginning. So I will crochet over those 12 single crochet stitches to finish my flower. So pick it up. So here's my main padding cord, and here's this short piece. I pushed it, turn it this direction, and I will crochet over this 12 single crochet stitches. But also before I finish, I still have this chain 6, and first I will make 2 single crochet stitches over the chain 6, and I already can introduce my padding cord from here. So let's make 2 single crochet stitches there, 2 single crochet stitches over the chain of 6. Here it is. And now I secured this short tail that I picked up from the bottom, and I still have this padding cord. So I will crochet, I've created this loop here. I will crochet 12 single crochet stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Now, let's make sure that those, here I removed again my stem on the bottom behind, so we can see at those 2 loops created by 12 stitches. Make sure they are the same size, and you can change it if it's a little bit too bigger by pulling on the cords on both sides. So I will hold my 12 stitches and pull slightly, don't pull too much. Little bit on that side on this cord and a little bit on this side, just slightly. Make sure they are the same size. Here they are. And after that I can cut both pieces, both padding cords. But before I do that, I will make my last stitch, slip stitch. So here I finished my 12 stitches, and I will go and make slip stitch right there. Like that. And pull on that stitch, remove thread out, and let's look on the back now. We finished. So here's the stem. This is our working thread, and this is those 2 strands of padding cord, one and another from another side. You can simply cut them off. They will not disappear anywhere. They will be fine. Like this, right here and right here. We remove those padding cords. They're gone. And now we only have to take care of this thread. Also, if you have this thread showing in front, you can sew over this with that working thread, but I don't see my thread, it's not showing anywhere. This is how it looks like. I can just weave in this thread and that's it. And I will weave it on the back of my work. So let's do that. If you do have questions for me, you can ask because we are finishing our lesson. And please, if you are interested in my lessons, I have a complete course of video tutorials where I teach traditional and modern Irish crochet. I also show you how to connect with background netting motifs. You can crochet beautiful projects, more than 100 motifs. You can also check my sale that's going on in the shop, online shop, all motifs on sale. Buy 2, get 1 free, buy 3, get 2 free, and buy 5, and you can get 3 patterns for free. So check it out, irishcrochetlab.com. Okay, I'm on the back, and thread it your needle and weave in your thread any way you actually want. Anywhere it fits well, and secure your thread from unraveling. I just go into those single crochet stitches of the petal, first petal below, and move it like that. There also one more thing can be done with a centerpiece. In the book, this motif has a hole in here. You can put here little button. You can add bead, pearl, or anything else. Or you can close this hole with your thread as you go. It's up to you. You can do that too, if you don't like that hole. I really like it. It's gonna look neat. Give you extra airy look, lace. And don't worry about that it's wavy in here. Block your motif, wash it, or spray it with water a little bit and block it, let it dry. This is it. And so a little bit more I will weave in so that my thread will not come out anywhere. And let me show you actually how to deal with that thread of padding cord that is showing here. If you don't want to see it, if you worry that it will show itself at some point, so you can go and sew around it. And you will not see it. So especially my padding cord is slightly different in shade of green. And if you, like me, want your back, the wrong side of your work also look neat, so you probably will want to do what I'm doing right now. I'm just covering the padding cord that you will not see it at all. It will be covered with my thread. Like that. I see there are a lot of comments or questions. Let me check in a minute. I will finish this motif. I will check what you... Okay, see? So here was padding cord. I hid this, I sewed over this with a thread, and just final touch, I will move my thread. I'll go to opposite direction and weave in a little bit more. And after your thread is weaved in, you can cut it off. Cut that piece off, and that's it. Your motif is finished. Please don't forget, ladies, I just want to ask everybody, if you watch my videos, like them, subscribe to my channel, share my videos with others. Want to tell thank you to all who donated to my website. All your donations are highly appreciated. So here's the motif. This is how it looks like. Really beautiful, really very, I don't even have enough words to say how beautiful this motif is. I really like this one. So let me check the questions if I had. Wendy, you ask about why I cannot sew over the padding cord as I do slip stitches. It just does not work. If you do slip stitches does not cover padding cord. Single crochet stitches only, or later sew over this. So slip stitch will never go and cover your padding cord, unfortunately. I don't understand what was this comment from Anastasia Khmel. As I understood, it's not for me. And yes, Anastasia, I know who you are. I saw your works. I think I even follow you um, on Facebook somewhere because I know a lot of ladies from Russia and Ukraine and Belarus. And let me tell you, you have very beautiful work. Okay, look like I don't have any questions. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today. Thank you for being with me. I appreciate you a lot. Our next lesson next week, unless I'm planning to have a little break. I'm not sure when. If I will not do it next week, I will need like a month of break because I need to do something, some repair in my house, so I need more time. But we will continue. If I will decide next week to take a break, I will let you know. So please follow. You're welcome, Renee. Please follow my Irish Crochet Lab Facebook page. This page is where I post all information about next videos. I just put links to the videos that you missed and you didn't see, things like that. So please follow me on Irish Crochet Lab on Facebook. This is the same name as my website. How to replay this video? If you following me, like right now when I finish this, I will click finish and save. And then in a few minutes, 5-10 minutes, I don't know how long it will take for YouTube to save it, but it will be available a little bit later. So just follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my channel, and when you go to my videos on YouTube, that video will be there. So all videos from this book, Masterpieces of Irish Crochet Lace, and all videos from the other book, 128 Motifs, that I'm making right now, all this available. First, I'm going live. We can communicate. You can ask me questions and I answer right away. And later, the same video. I'm not editing anything. It's all there. I just prefer not to touch it because I really don't have time for editing videos. And at the same time, yes, I made a few mistakes. I misspelled something or mispronounced something. I'm not going to edit. I'm a live person making mistakes and they stay with me here in my videos. I'm a real person, so everything stays the same way as it was live. So you can watch them live later in a recording later. And they are not going anywhere. Those recordings are going to stay. So I guess no more questions? You couldn't get on my website, Sandra. What do you mean? Okay, let me just, before you guys go, let me just give you links. There are a few links I can give you, and right here, right now, you save those links, okay? So the first link I'm giving you, it's my website. It's not right here. So this one is a website. Here's the, oops, how that happened? Here's the website, irishcrochetlab.com. If you go to that website, you can find all information about my video tutorials, about crochet patterns in my online shop, information about thread, hooks, and other materials that are used for Irish crochet lace. And this page, just a minute, let me get this page to you. Hold on, I have to open it. Hold on a minute. This page on Facebook, and it has exactly the same name as my website, only it is on Facebook. Also Irish Crochet Lab. Let me just a moment. So this is on a Facebook. So first link I gave you, it's my website. It's a physical website. It's different from Facebook. And if you are on Facebook all the time, I would recommend you to follow this page, facebook.com/video tutorials. This is the link or page on Facebook where I post always all information about future videos, video tutorials, about sale if I have something, about new lessons, and so on. So I would recommend you to follow me there on Facebook, and follow my YouTube channel. Subscribe. If you subscribe, press on the bell button, and that way you will receive notifications of my new videos that coming. That's all. Well, you're welcome. That's all for today, ladies. Have a wonderful rest of the week and weekend. Thank you for joining me again, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.